Hi, this is Wind, and I am going to share with you another experience of finding more deception and separation in existence. I refer to as the 13 Game Lords. Well, one day, Eagle and I were sitting in the office where we still work to this day, and he said to me, "There's again more deception in existence. Have a look what you see." So what we saw was this cone-like structure. Okay, now imagine a cone-like structure but facing downwards. You know, the biggest ring at the bottom. And with these many layers and rings of authority placements in existence. And way at the top point, there were 13 masters and game lords. They were way at the top, and what they were doing, existence in its entirety, everything, was below them. Meaning they were way at the top, and they were huge. They were big master beings. Well, that's how they perceived themselves to be. So with these huge masters standing around the circular, they were sitting on these throne chairs in a circle, all 13. Like looking down, when you look down, you could see all of existence. And they played with every single being in existence. They were able to move every being like pawns, even human beings on Earth. Whatever way they wanted to direct the universe or existence, they were able to do it. Just by, placing them effectively, changing something, mind construct systems, energetic lines, programs. They were like the masters of existence, the 13 Game Lords. So they were sitting around in a circular placement on these big thrones, just like looking down and, playing around, like everything was a game to them. And what Eagle did was he took all 13 of them when he saw them. He took all 13 of them and pulled them down, because literally they were way up there, somewhere, in existence, looking at everything. So you're able to imagine how big they were. And they were interdimensional, meaning they could move, place, change anything as pawns as they wanted to. And so Eagle took them, all 13, placed all 13 of them inside him, and he placed them into process. He placed everything of their entire existence into this world, into process. So they were placed inside their own creation. So the 13 Game Lords were actually the creators of Unheard, the creators of this existence, the 13 masters. And so they were the creators of the Anunnaki and of all the other races and planets, etc. And of existence, the placement of existence, the design of existence, the design of beings, everything they created. And it was their game they played. Everything was just a game to them, because they were literally God. All 13 of them. Well, the definition of God, having access to everything and anything, being able to move, shift, change, manipulate, control, anything at will. So, but Eagle sorted that out in one moment by putting them all down into him, as him, placing them into process. Because that was also the period where we've already started to rip open existences literally, and start pulling all the beings into process, into this one dimension. So this whole 2.5 years were the process of bringing all beings together into one dimension, into this one world within and as human beings. And that was merely another part of existence that Bernard Eagle pulled in, and so that they're able to start experiencing their own creation. Because no one was taking responsibility. No one was directly assisting and supporting in any way whatsoever. They're all high and mighty, sitting up there, manipulating, deceiving, controlling, existence in its entirety, as with, for instance, the 13 game lords, or 13 masters. We call them the game lords because literally they were playing every single part of existence as beings like a game, you know, and again, unacceptable. So that's why Eagle just pulled them in. Simple. It was really simple, in one moment. Well, everything basically happened in one moment. When we immediately discovered something, for instance, like 13 game lords and 13 masters, it was sorted out in one moment. Like, for instance, Eagle did with the 13 masters, so that they're able to come into their own creation and start directing and sorting it out. And making sure that each and every single human being or being in existence have the opportunity to experience themselves as who they are, as life, as oneness and equality. So you're able to understand the extent to which separation, deception, slavery, enslavement existed. So they were trapped in their own creation, the 13 masters. And they also had an equal opportunity to birth themselves as life, to realize themselves in the dimensions, and to start taking responsibility for what they've accepted and allowed in existence. Because, you know, we're not bloody pawns. We're not slaves. We're not. Yes, we're not that. You know, we are who we are as life, as oneness and equality. And having them up there, manipulating, controlling, enslaving, deceiving existence, just seeing it as an apparent game, really, human beings murdering, children being abused, molested, murders, killing, starvation, poverty. Is that a game? No, it's not. And so they were placed in their own creation, woken up to say, listen, this is not a game. Look at what you've done. Forgive yourself, stand up and take responsibility and start sorting out this mess. Unfortunately, again, they refused to. So the 13 masters were removed from existence, because they were systems. As I said, systems is able to be removed in one moment. So they just don't, they cease to exist. Because they're not life. So everyone in existence since the beginning that we've started clearing existence gave everyone a choice, either life or a system, and we are not supporting systems. It stops right here, right now. And thus those that chose to remain systems were just removed appropriately. Those that choose life remain and give themselves the opportunity to experience themselves as life here on earth through assisting and supporting human beings. Thank you very much. This is Winged.